A state of emergency has been declared in an area of southwest Russia after Ukraine was accused of launching a massive cross-border attack. Fierce battles have been taking place with thousands of people forced out of the Kursk region. Russia says this is the aftermath of Ukraine's incursion, with many damaged houses as a result. The acting regional governor says the evacuation is necessary to limit the consequences of enemy forces coming into the region.
More than 200 people were taken out of the war zone by buses and personal vehicles from their territories. During the day, with our help, thousands of people left the shelling zone by private transport. All of them are also being assisted.
Well, Russia says up to 1,000 Ukrainian troops, backed by tanks and armoured combat vehicles, had crossed from Ukraine near the town of Sudza, which is about 10 kilometres from the border. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has been briefed on the development.
In the Kursk region, the Kyiv regime has undertaken another large-scale provocation and launched indiscriminate shelling of civilian buildings, residential houses and ambulances with different types of weapons, including missiles.
Russia's defence ministry has released footage of what it says shows a military helicopter involved in combat operations in the Kursk region. Moscow claims it has thwarted Kyiv's advance, with more than 100 Ukrainian soldiers killed and another 200 injured. Russian officials say 5 civilians have died in the border battles and at least 24 others wounded. Ukrainian officials are staying quiet on the incursion, but the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has emphasised the importance of maintaining pressure on Moscow.
It is important to continue destroying our enemy as precisely as our warriors can, and the more pressure is exerted on Russia, on the aggressor that brought the war to Ukraine, the closer peace will be.
Ukrainian attacks inside Russia are extremely rare. If confirmed, this would be the biggest incursion by Kyiv since Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022. The US says it's reaching out to Ukraine's military about the situation.
The statements from the Russian government is a little bit rich, them calling it a provocation, given Russia violated Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty. You said 900 days. It actually goes back much longer than that. It goes back to 2014 and continues to illegally occupy Ukrainian territory. Ultimately, the decisions about how Ukraine conducts its military operations are decisions that Ukraine makes. Nothing has changed about our policy with respect to strikes across the border.
The Kursk region houses the last operational trans-shipping point for Russian gas exports to Europe via Ukraine. Officials say it's still operating normally. While not commenting on what's happening in Kursk, the Ukrainian military has released video it says shows its forces operating in the Russian-occupied Kherson region. It says the actions are part of the large-scale plan of the Ukrainian Defence Forces, which is ongoing.